Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's been a little minute since I've been on here, but yeah, today we finna be revealing my grandma Ancestry and 23andMe results. Now, this finna be real good. I got some family history in there and the history of Brazoria County in general, which is where my maternal grandma from. So, yeah, I ain't gonna make the intro too long, though, y'all. We finna get straight into it real quick. So, my grandma DNA results show that she got 91% African DNA and 9% European DNA. Now, you see how Central Africa is her highest percentages, Western Bantu peoples in Cameroon. That's because my third great-grandpa, which is her great-grandpa, he was from Angola. He was born in 1822 and brought down to Brazoria County, Texas in the 1830s. So it was after the slave trade was banned in 1808. So he was brought in illegally, which was still common down there in Brazoria County from a man named Monroe Edwards. They used to go down there to Cuba to go buy slaves because it was more cheaper to buy slaves down there than smoking them back over here. And he used to get away with it. But I'm going to get more into that, the history side after I get done with these results. Okay, so with West Africa now, we got Nigeria 14%, Mali 10%, Ivory Coast and Ghana 10%, Benin and Togo 9%, Central West Africa 6%, Senegal 4%, Yorubaland 4%, East Midlands 4%, the Netherlands 3%, Norway 1%, Northern Wales and Northwest England 1%. We got early North Carolina African Americans, Southeastern United States African Americans, Piedmont Plateau African Americans, East Texas and Oklahoma African Americans, South Central Texas African Americans. Now we're going to click on it so you can see the timeline. 1725 to 1950. Now, I'm going to skim through it, but for the video's sake, you feel me? But y'all can stop and pause and read it if y'all want to. Next, I'm about to show y'all like the tree, my family tree, so y'all can see how we was brought from North Carolina down here to Texas. I got 3 North Carolina ancestors on my grandma maternal side. So look, this is my 4th great grandma, Nancy Hawkins from Franklin County, North Carolina, and her son, my 3rd great grandpa, Andy Hawkins from North Carolina. Now they was brought down to Matagorda County, Texas by the slave owner, James Boyd Hawkins. He had slaves in North Carolina in Franklin County, and he brought his slaves from North Carolina all the way down to Matagorda County, Texas. And I even got a North Carolina ancestor on this side. I still don't know which county she was from, but yeah, Tamara Laura Spiller. All right, so this is James Boyd Hawkins right here. From what I done read so far, it say he brought his slaves from North Carolina to Texas in 1845. They was working on the sugarcane plantations. And if y'all don't know, Matagorda County, Brazoria County, and Fort Bend County was known as the Sugar Bowl of Texas because it was a lot of sugarcane working down there on the plantations, the sugarcane plantations. But hey, yeah, just look at them though. Boy, you can smell the racism straight off the screen. Look at that. I already put this in one of my other videos, but I'm going to just lay out the history of Monroe Edwards again. He was a slave trafficker from Kentucky that used to bring slaves down from some African-born slaves from Cuba to Brazoria County, Texas, because it was more cheaper to buy slaves over there in Cuba compared to in Texas. So let's say in 1836, he was smuggling slaves into Texas. Right here. I'm going to scroll down some more. Sometime after Edwards met a slave trader and joined his new acquaintance on a smuggling trip to acquire slaves in Africa. All right, here we go. Edwards invested this venture's profits into land in Texas, where in late 1833 he established a plantation on the San Bernard River in present-day Brazoria County, Texas. He named his new home Shenango. Where's it? Edwards secured further financing from a New Orleans company named George Knight and Company, and then went to Cuba where he purchased slaves. In February 1836, Edwards landed 170 black people in Texas, taking advantage of the confusion surrounding the end of the Texas Revolution and the establishment of the independent Republic of Texas, which had not yet outlawed the importation of slaves. Wow. And then look, here go right here too. Although the new Texas Republic eventually outlawed the importation of slaves, but anywhere from the United States, Edwards' landing of slaves from Cuba in early 1836 was never prosecuted. So the nigga was doing the shit and never went to jail for it, never got no consequences for it, nothing. Look at it. All right, so this is my grandma 23andMe results. She got 89.5% sub-Saharan African DNA, and 61.2% of it is from West Africa, and 28.3% of it is Congolese and Southern East African. So for her West African DNA, she got 29.7% Nigerian DNA, just the Igbo people, Edo and Isan people, Central Igbo, and Yoruba people. And then the country matches are Edo and Oyo State. And then Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leone, 26.1%. Ashanti people, Mende, Temne, and Kru people. And I'm going to show y'all the DNA matches on my grandma Ancestry DNA. She got some matches from Liberia and Sierra Leone. And then Mende from southeastern Sierra Leone. And then the country matches Sierra Leone. And then Senegambian and Guinean, 5.4%. Wolof, Fulani, Hausa, and Mandinka people. And then 28.3% Angolan and Congolese. Now, this is how I knew that my third great grandpa was from Angola. So it got Congo and Mbundu peoples close, and then Kuango people close, and then Lar people distant. And then if you look at the top where it says timeline, right next to migrations, we scoot over, it shows all of this by generation. How many generations ago was your most recent ancestor for each population? And for her, it has Angolan and Congolese at the very top, 2 to 4 generations ago. So that would be 3 generations from her, because her parent, her grandparent, and then her great-grandparent. My third great-grandpa is her great-grandparent. So yeah, 2 to 4 generations ago, it says you most likely had a grandparent, great-grandparent, or second great-grandparent who was 100% Angolan and Congolese. This person was likely born between 1820 and 1880. My third great-grandpa was born in 1822. So yeah, that and a DNA match from Angola actually confirmed it, but I'm gonna show y'all that at the end. And then I'm gonna go back. There go percent breakdown. We gonna show the rest of the DNA results. Then look, we got European, British, and Irish, 9.3%. Okay, so English, what the UK, Greater London, and Tyne, and Ware. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah. Welsh, 1%. Rhondda, Cynon, Taff, and Carmarthenshire. I don't know if I'm saying this right. And then Scottish, 0.2%. Come on, not load up. Scottish, 0.2%. Central and Eastern Europe, 0.1%. Estonian, I never heard of that before. I ain't gonna lie, 0.1%. Estonian, I mean, they do say new, so that must have just, but yeah. And then Indigenous American, 0.5%. Western North American, what they say? By Arizona, Phoenix, New Mexico, Santa Fe, Colorado, Denver, Utah, Salt Lake City. And then 0.5% North African. So this must be from some Fulani ancestry, because I know some Fulani, they be having North African ancestry, like, they mixed. Not all of them, but some of them are. I had to point that out there because there's a lot of people that just love to say, oh, they all just, just got this admixture. Not all of them. And then 0.1% Chinese Dai. I don't know how to say it, but yeah. All right, so my granny maternal haplogroup is L3B1A. And of course, I got that same haplogroup too. If y'all see my 23andMe video, I share the same maternal DNA as my maternal grandma, of course. So, but I did my African ancestry matriclan test revealed too, so y'all can watch that video. But yeah, it's Fulani and Yoruba people in Nigeria to be exact. But I showed y'all in the beginning of the video the furthest back I could go back on my maternal line, which is Tamara Laura Spiller. She was born in 1820s, the 1820s from North Carolina. So I can't get past that ancestor. Like the timeline was showing, though, I probably got to go all the way back to the 1700s, which is most likely going to be impossible to find, the African maternal ancestor. So now that we're done with these DNA results, now we're going to get into the migrations. So genetic groups, we got Lower Alabama African Americans. So she got 2 Alabama ancestors on her paternal side, and then 3 on her maternal side. And then we got Virginia Tidewater African Americans, Arklatex Creoles. So the Virginia side is from her mama's side. And then Arklatex Creoles, North Carolina, Northern Piedmont African Americans. I showed y'all that. Piney Woods, Mississippi, African Americans, and Southern Alabama River Basin African Americans. So for some of y'all that don't know, Mississippi and Alabama used to be a part of each other. So that could be a reason why it's shown as one in the community. And that was before they started to separate. This is the employment record of the Freedmen Bureau. John Greenville McNeil, one of the biggest plantation owners down there in Brazoria County. He owned 3 lines of my maternal side, bro. Look, the Whitfield Bryant, that's my 3rd great grandpa from Georgia. Barry Earl at the very top, that's my 5th great grandpa from Kentucky. Barry Earl Jr., my 4th great grandpa. And then his kids and his wife. And then Eliza McNeil. That's my 3rd great grandma from Alabama. She married my 3rd great grandpa from Africa, Zachariah Taylor. So she became a Taylor later on down the line. But yeah. And John Greenville McNeil, y'all could just go look his name up. He like one of the founders of, of Brazoria County, damn near, might well say. But yeah. And he brought his slaves from Kentucky down there to Texas, and he just got more. And yeah, and my 5th great grandpa, Barry Earl, at the very top, he was one of them. Here goes some of the history on the McNeil family in Brazoria County right here. They was also part of the transatlantic slave trade, doing it illegally and shit. Look at that. All right, y'all, so that's my grandma on the left. And then that's the cousin from Angola on the right. Her name is Ndundo Afonso. If I have any followers from Angola, Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm saying the name wrong. But yeah, it say third cousin, 2 generations removed, or half second cousin, 3 generations removed. And then we share 12 centimorgans of DNA. But when I had messaged her, it said 5th through 8th cousin. So that means she could be related to my grandma through a 4th through 7th grade grandparent. But given the amount of DNA we share, which is only 12 centimorgans of DNA, it's most likely it's 4th through 7th grade grandparent. But bro, it's so crazy how much she looked like my cousin Ashley, bro. Like, I swear them genes are strong as fuck, bro. Like, for real. And yeah, I had messaged her. She said, yes, I'm from Luanda. I was born and raised in Angola. I can help with some questions. This is an Igbo cousin that I found on my grandma DNA test. He related to her by her maternal side, and they share 9 centimorgans of DNA with each other. Bro, I was chopping up with him. He cool as fuck, man. He grew up in Germany. His dad had left Nigeria during the Biafra War and shit, and he was trying to sell like a new life over there. But yeah, and this is a shared DNA match. So me and Vedia have a common ancestor, an Igbo ancestor. And then this is DNA results, 97% Nigerian, 1% Benin and Togo, 1% Central West Africa, 1% Yoruba land. All right, and this is a match from Sierra Leone. He has three ethnic groups in his family, so I don't know exactly which one I trace back to in his family, but he's related to my grandma maternal side. They share 16 centimorgans of DNA. His ethnic group is Susu, Mandinka, and Temne. So yeah, I had messaged them, but he haven't been on Ancestry in like a whole year or something. So yeah, I don't even be trying to press it. But yeah, and then he 92% Mali, 7% Senegal, 1% Yoruba land. So, but I think he Temne though. You feel me? Like out of anything else. And I found a cousin from Liberia on my grandma DNA test. She related to my grandma maternal side. They share 9 centimorgans of DNA. If I got any people from Liberia watching this, tell me which ethnic group this is. Like, which ethnic group carries this surname, and which ethnic group most likely is a match, you feel me, like with this DNA, like Ivory Coast and Ghana and then Mali. Because I don't know what her ethnic group is, and she never replied back because she haven't been on there. So yeah, and these are some old cousins from Liberia on my grandma DNA test. The person that manages them, she says that 2 of them was her kids. I guess the other ones is her cousins or nieces or nephews, something, I don't know. But yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Yeah, she said they from Grand Bassa County. So this is August 28, 2024. She said, yes, I was born in Liberia and I'm from the Bassa tribe. You are sharing DNA with 2 of my young children. I was like, wow, that's interesting to me. What state in Liberia you from? The other Bassa match I had found on here had the surname Minyonge. Y'all correct me if I'm saying it wrong, if you from Liberia, but she said, that's a Bassa name. Your other match is Bassa. We are from the Grand Bassa County. Bassa people are from there. And this girl I know from Twitter, she was a DNA match to her too, and she from Alabama. All right, y'all, so that's the end of the video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with other people. And yeah, may God bless y'all. I hope y'all have a good day.